This tutorial is about getting started with PowerPoint. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to click on the Start button and we're going to open up PowerPoint just by typing in a few of the letters that represent the program. In this particular case, I'm going to click on Microsoft PowerPoint 2010. And you'll notice that this particular process typically goes through this scripting information. And once it's done, we will be looking at the PowerPoint window. In this case, the program has opened. I'm going to click OK to close out of this area. And you'll notice that in my screen, I have a few types of slides that are already present. I'm going to go ahead and click OK, so that this information disappears. When taking a look at the presentation that you have before you, at the very top you'll notice in this area that this is the title of the particular presentation that I'm working with, and when you start working with your PowerPoint, you also will notice that once it's saved, your file name will show up in this area. This is very helpful information when you're actually trying to locate the file that you want to work with for PowerPoint, and it lets you know as an indicator that you're in the right location. Furthermore, as you look over here to the left side of the screen, you'll notice that it says Slides. And in this case, when I select the first slide, it lets you know that's the slide that you're working with in the middle of your screen because it's selected over on the left. Furthermore, if you were to click each of these particular items, again, you would notice that this slide that's selected on the left and highlighted in yellow is represented in the middle of the screen. As you move down and you take a look at the bottom left, this actually shows you the number of slides that you have in your presentation. For example, if I were to look at this, I could see that I have a total of 5 slides in this presentation. Yet when I look at the top, I can see that slide number 3 is what's selected. Therefore, in this area, slide 3 of 5 is what I'm working on, and this is where you would look to get that information. As you begin to work with your presentation, you'll notice that if you click on Outline, it will show you just a rough draft of what it is that you've created, and you'll notice that if there's any type of image in the slide that you're looking at, images will not show in outline mode, but yet the text outline is what you see in this area. To go back to a regular view, I recommend that you click on Slides, and that gives you the ability to click on the right side of your screen to do any type of editing so that you have the ability to go in and make any types of modifications. The last thing I want to do is bring the information back that I just removed, and the easiest thing for me to do was to look up in this area, which is called the Quick Access Toolbar. In this particular case, if I want to undo what I just erased, I could just click on this button for undo until it looks the way that I want, bringing back the text that I just removed. And the last thing I'm going to take a look at is actually going in and minimizing my screen. So in this case, if I want to click on the minus sign up here, the presentation hasn't totally disappeared. It is actually down here on the taskbar. So I could click on the PowerPoint area. It brings that slideshow that I was actually looking at back, or in this case the presentation back, and if I wanted to, I could put it in what we call slideshow mode so that I could see what would this look like if I were trying to make a presentation to an audience. To put it in slideshow mode, one of the easiest things that I could do is come down here to this area at the bottom, and when I hover over it, it actually tells me it's slideshow. So when I click it, it puts it in this mode. Now I have several choices that allow me to navigate from one slide to the next. One thing I'm going to do is to click. And that's going to allow me to move from one slide to the next until I reach the very end, at which point I can click one more time and it takes me back to the previous view that I had prior to me going in to look at the slideshow mode. That wraps it up for this presentation. So to close out, if I were totally done, I could come up here to the very top and click on the X, and that closes me out of the PowerPoint presentation. That concludes this tutorial.